Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Dicing with Death. Malcifer Winter is in his estate. He's created 4 more ghouls. I presume that the hunters are eventually dismissed and the night passes.
No. That means he's just getting started. So first off, now that they brought the bodies down, I think the night is young. I think we're still in the basement. And I have no need for them to be healthy. So we're gonna feed HP off of these guys at the very least. And then we've got some other rituals in mind, but we'll start here. So I think the ghouls that they just witnessed being raised are going to restrain them while Malcifer drains them dry, at least as efficiently as possible. Yeah. It's been a long night. The Lord's been working hard.
So how do you...
He must feed.
So you command the ghouls to grab these men?
Command the ghouls, restrain these men. And if they resist, if they just, turn their wrists over willingly.
They don't quite do that. They back up in a way as the ghouls approach them. The lead hunter says, we brought you what you wanted.
No. Not 2 souls were required. You brought 2 corpses. It seems you've offered yourselves as the sacrifice. Your Lord must feed, and if they resist, then the ghoul pack, I think, leaps upon them.
The 4 hunters do resist.
Okay.
They try and flee and run.
Okay. You want to do initiative?
I do.
They probably provoke OAs if they turn to climb up a ladder out of the basement. But let's I guess do this in turn order. Ghouls, I think, just have regular initiative. They're faster than regular zombies. Doesn't say. So I think I just roll a d10 plus 3.
Yeah.
Ghoulies. Oh, you've even got tokens. Cool.
I've got some ghoul tokens. I will give them to you. 2, 3, 4. 4 ghoul tokens. You should be able to control these.
Yeah, so I'll roll initiative on one of them with a modifier of 3. Oh, so slow, ghoulies. I don't know what Malcifer is actually going to do. I think he's going to leave it to the ghouls. But I'll throw myself in the order just in case. Four hunters.
2, 3. Whoops. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so the ghouls were in here, being raised in the circle. Malcifer was nearby. The hunters would have been pretty much just alongside this section of wall, watching from here, so maybe Malcifer is more on the side.
Okay.
Okay. And we will have one of the hunters roll initiative.
Oh. Slow. Are they armed?
Yeah, they're armed.
Are they brandishing weapons defensively, or?
Well, you go first. I guess you guys go at the same time. They are backing out and trying to flee only.
Okay. Malcifer going at the same... If there's a hunter here that is not brandishing a weapon to provoke or to take advantage of opportunity attacks, Malcifer will lunge forward and I think go to bite the throat of the hunter and just start draining their life.
Oh my god.
So let's make an attack roll and see if it's successful. 21. Yeah,
that definitely beats AC 13.
2d4 throat bite. Actually, I don't want to do damage. I want to drain HP. So I think that's just I clutch and clasp on, grip on, grapple this person.
And
prevent them from retreating and begin draining at it's 2 HP around or something like that. I gain 1.
You gain 1. Yes.
So maybe one of them can get up the ladder this round before the ghouls go. Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah, the other hunters, as the ghouls begin to like rise and turn to face the hunters, they begin to back out and scramble for the ladder.
Okay. And the ghoul pack pursues.
Right.
Likely,
One of them.
Likely one of them.
Yeah,
gets
probably
out.
one of them escapes.
I only have control over one of the ghouls, but the whole pack moves. It's fine.
Oh no.
And I don't see attack options for ghouls, but that's fine.
Yeah, I haven't programmed them in yet. There, you should be able to
fine.
control all of them now.
Okay. So, looks like we can get a couple of attacks. Let's take them one at a time. And I think ghouls roll at +3.
I believe
Roll
so.
at +3. So there's one. These are probably a back attack, so +5.
Yep, at least for the first one.
Oh, 21 will hit. So that's
D4.
2 points of damage, but he has to roll a saving throw versus paralyzation.
Natural 20 passes, no problem.
Okay. A second ghoul claws into him from the back. A 13 is enough to hit
That is.
for 4. And does if you pass one save, do you resist for the whole turn, or does he have to keep rolling them with each
You
attack?
keep rolling, but that brings him to 0.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then this guy climbs over the fallen body and descends upon the guy that's climbing up the stairs now.
Grabbing a foot on a
19.
ladder, dragging him
2
back
points
down
of
to the
damage
earth.
and make a saving throw versus paralyzation.
19. Wow.
Pass, but I think he's still gripped, and we can roll into next round.
Yes.
Actually, this last one will have come and helped Maltzifer with this one. I don't think I can. It won't be like eating him. I don't think it'll fight its master for the kill or for the food, but keep the guy paralyzed and restrained.
Give me an attack roll just to paralyze.
Oh, sure.
Oh my god.
If it can avoid dealing damage, it
15
will.
is a fail on the save. It can avoid
I
doing
think it
damage.
just like grapples the guy from the back or whatever, holds it for its master to feed, looks up longingly like, gee, I wish it were me chewing on that guy's throat right now.
One of the hunters will... I guess we should roll initiative for the next round, actually.
Sure. So just
Ooh,
roll.
hunter goes fast.
Not fast enough. These
no.
fools. And I guess Malsford just doesn't need to. He'll roll. He'll drain.
You'll just drain. Yeah.
So first ghoul. I guess they'll just have to. It'll be one back attack is an 18. So 4 more damage and another saving throw.
It's all right. That's all of the HP he had. He goes down.
Okay. And I'm guessing that the one guy does make it out.
One guy bolts,
Running
makes
into
it
the
free.
hills.
The ghouls, unless you order them otherwise, will just begin to feast on the bodies immediately.
How could they only feast at 1 HP around, right? So their souls will still be available for sacrifice.
Yeah, I don't know how much they feast, but they will be doing damage to. They'll keep doing D4 damage, right? Because they're eating every round.
Okay.
Yeah, and then when they get to -10, then it's too late to sacrifice them.
Okay. Malcifer will pull his lips away from slurping for long enough to issue a command to the ghouls to bring them to me, and then get back to draining HP. So to drain HP, it was 1 year.
Yes.
Drain life 1
This
year.
last person that you are
How much-
slurping on only has 1 HP left, so you don't get anything from him as you drain that last bit of life.
Oh, you bastard. Did I gain anything? Did I gain 1 HP from last round?
Yeah, you got 1 HP from last round.
That wasn't
Should
worth
put you
it.
at 11.
A year for an HP. Boo. To 11.
These other two are at
brought
0.
here.
Yeah. You can gain all of their lives.
Do I want? Then I'll have no hunters. Do I need hunters?
Well, you'll have...
They're not dead yet, right? They're just unconscious.
These ones are just unconscious.
Oh, what a waste. I needed to feed. I think we need living hunters, and they're already marked. I think they're going to make a recovery. We need one skeletal specialist. So we'll sacrifice at least one of them. So Malsfer will take one and drag it to the ritual circle. Is there any advantage to having a specter in a party? Like, does being ethereal allow them to see things or perceive things that the other undead can't? Or does their low intelligence render them not? So we're assembling a company of a hunter's company or whatever of undead. Mm-hmm. Right? It's going to have a pack of ghouls, maybe some living hunters, a specialist to issue commands to the mindless ghouls.
Right.
Would raising a specter of a hunter grant perceptive benefits?
Not really, since it doesn't have any ability to communicate. A specter is pretty much useful for like
specialist boss. Use it as a scout. Is that something that would be? Right. So the specialist says it can issue commands to lower undead.
Right.
Would a specialist hunter be able to issue like scouting type commands to a specter in its company?
I don't think so. I think a specter is pretty much only useful for scouting for you. Mm-hmm. A shade is a little smarter and might be able to...
What is a shade?
A shade is the more intelligent version of a specter.
All these names. All right, shade. Identical to a specter, but instead... Spiritual force in given form with life force. The resulting creation is ethereal with the face of the caster. Alternately. Okay, yeah, this is what I was thinking.
Okay.
Yeah. A specter... Yeah, I was thinking of a
shade.
Of a shade. Specters are those like the visions?
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, you can still command them and stuff.
Oh yeah, the visions are the poltergeist. No, phantom. Phantom is what it's called. We've got phantom, specter, shade, poltergeist is the hierarchy of ghosts thus far.
So one of these paralyzed hunters is going to get converted into a shade.
Mm-hmm.
And a skeletal specialist all in one. So the shade is just the sacrifice in a ritual circle. So I think decapitating this guy in the ritual circle will release a shade version of him. Right, all Mouse really needs to do is drag this paralyzed guy into the center of this circle.
Mm-hmm.
Unwrap his executioner's axe, decapitate the dude, and we've got ourselves a shade.
Excellent.
A shade of a hunter. Mostly transparent with very slight red illumination. And it has HP equal to the creature's max, so I don't even need to do I need to sacrifice SP to make a shade in this manner?
The resulting shade has the form and face of the person who sacrificed. Yes, so if you're sacrificing a creature, you need to give up 0 SP.
Okay, he makes the sacrifice.
Right.
So this hunter is sacrificed to the winter gods, but forced to serve them eternally as in his case both a shade and a skeletal specialist. So his shade will be created first, and then the ghouls will be commanded to flay his bones,
ripping them bit by bit.
Well, don't damage the bones.
Right, but ripping the flesh.
Yeah.
Consuming, feasting, filling themselves.
We'll raise him as a specialist, which takes 1 HP and 5
years.
The other two are mostly unconscious through this. And I haven't totally decided what to do with them yet. Where have I listed? Okay, so this will be a 9th skeletal specialist. I wonder if I should keep this as a separate hunting company, or if I should just add. Do you think just grand totals for every class of undead is the way to go?
I think so. What are you gonna do with the 2 other hunters?
I haven't decided yet. They're currently unconscious. They're present for the whole ritual. I'm contemplating keeping them as living hunters that have to travel in the company of the ghoulish versions of their former companions.
Mm-hmm.
But I need to add one. It's called a shade. I guess I don't even have a shade. Is this a new creature? Or an upgraded version of a specter that I never bothered to create? What's its max HP?
Oh, it's going to be who are you sacrificing for this?
One of the 2 hunters. I don't know that they were ever distinguished.
Okay. One of them had 6 HP.
Okay.
One of them had 5, and one of them had 3. So you tell me which one you want to fight for you, and which one you want to be undead.
Is 6 HP better for draining? Those 5, maybe the 3, maybe just the weakest link, and keep the strongest one alive. So there's a 3 HP shade, and I think the plan for now is the special. We flay the bones, raise the specialist. Specialist can lead the undead hunters, and there will probably be. I think it's convenient to have living hunters, so these poor traumatized guys will wake up after this fever dream. I don't know where they recover.
Maybe in the downstairs quarters.
Yeah.
One of these rooms over here. The guest bedrooms.
This pack of ghouls specialists. So I think the specter and the specter or the shade will mostly stay with its body, right? So it's like 2 separate animations, but I think they'll just travel together.
Okay. That's fair.
And whatever for this specialist, can issue commands to the shade, so it can like perceive through its ethereal eyes, and maybe like they'll separate, and its shade will go scouting ahead 60 feet or something. I don't think we'll wind up micromanaging it enough for it to even come up again, but fun little combo undead.
Very nice.
Hunters. And once they recover, I think the idea is that these living hunters can go along to like issue commands back or bring news. The living touch.
Yeah. I think on this basement map, this is a little wonky because the staircase is right here, but it should be in the kitchen. And this is like a wild side note. This hatch.
Is that a separate basement? Or is
right, it's the kitchen's larder or whatever, the kitchen cellar. So there's a hatch right here.
Okay.
Which goes to this staircase right? over here. Yeah. I think it's just slightly mispositioned.
Maybe it goes down first or something? Does it go down and
over? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if they line up.
I don't think it will ever come up for us, but just as a side note.
Okay. I thought there were 3 rooms in the basement. Is that wrong?
There were 2.
There were 2? Okay.
I think there were 2.
Okay. Okay, yeah, okay. Looks good. I think Malsfer needs some sleep.
Raising the shades and the specters takes time, hours. And eventually, you leave the hunters in bedrooms to be tended by Lilith and can make your rest. Please do remove the hunter who escaped from your civilian inventory. He flees Winter's Reach, never to return.
Okay, well, he's a wanted man. He's if he ever, I don't know, he probably leaves the island, huh? Brings harrowing tales of his nightmarish, you think your parents are bad, let me tell you about where I'm from. And he's got this sickening mark to boot. Raised in an undead cult. That could be a good backstory for some future adventurer.
One day we'll play this guy that escaped from Malsifer's domain.
Yeah, so that was one of the... So I guess I'll just delete him as if he had...
As if he had died.
I'll delete 2 more hunters, right?
All right, because you killed the You, sacrificed one, drove off another. Okay.
So then, I think Mousefur is at 10 HP? 10 HP after the raising. I don't know why there's too many tokens. All right. And we'll rest, we'll recover, we'll skip days if that is amenable.
Okay. We can skip forward a few days. Let's bring ourselves back to the world map. The days pass. Eventually the rain stops. And what do you...
We
what do
want to
you
gain
want?
HP at this point. But yeah, I think things are peaceful for a time, for a few days at least. The power
How
of
nice.
Winter's hordes have been rallied. We've got a sizable company of undead occupying this western tip of the Blumwood. And yeah, Lord Winter is wounded from his adventures and needs to recover. We can do 3 HP a day. So you said 4 days.
Yeah.
4 times 3 is 12, which would bring me 1 past full. So that seems convenient. Along with, I believe, a full 6 charge spirit armor.
Your max HP is 27, right?
27, yeah, but a quarter of that has been
Is your
spent or whatever to cast spirit armor. Yeah.
so does that bring you to 20 or 21?
22, I think. So from 27 to 22, let's see, a quarter of 27 is 5.5 or something like that.
6.75.
Did I do the math on that wrong? I may have not updated that first. 27 times 0.25. 6.75, which is why. Okay, so we should be at 21 HP. Yeah.
With 9 charges? No, that should be 7
6.
charges. 6?
6.
Oh, I see.
It's
It's
7,
just...
aren't I?
Yeah.
It's an upside down 6, but...
How complicated.
Or an upside down 7. Wait, no, the 7 is right side up. Or did you flip my character?
I flipped the token, yeah.
Ah.
I'm a sneaky guy. Okay, well. As the days roll past, let's take a look at your situation here. You have defeated 3 companies of Gade Isle's finest troops. You have defeated the ship that was floating out here. You've conquered...
It's still floating out there. It's probably it's haunted Detritus bobbling in the Strait of Amen.
Yeah, and you
Save
have...
that on your random encounter table for the next crew that misclicks their boat down the strait.
And you've conquered about a quarter of the island. So what is your next move here, Malcifer? Resting in the warm sunlight that basks on your porch after the torrential rains.
I'm thinking, so we've got we want a nightmare. That's brewing. I guess we've had a few days, so I'm sure at some point, Malcifer's checked on the animals, maybe had Lilith look up some horse aphrodisiacs, and we've hung blessed herbs around the barn, or rather horny goat weed or something.
Right.
Yeah. And I think Malcifer is contemplating busting Freddy out of prison in Pine Spur. Unless we get more intel, right? So the hunting pack is now, and these are all little specialist squads on lookout. So I think we have undead roaming the Blumwood. They would probably drag back any poachers or interlopers. Our undead company of hunters still patrols the wood. Whatever happens to those 2 hunters when they recover?
When they recover, which will take a few days, because they did get gnawed on a little bit.
Check, maybe.
Yeah.
I wish I had a slightly higher charisma to buff this. Oh, no, I have +1 reaction, just no loyalty based.
No. Did you have +1 reaction adjustment?
Reaction adjustment, no loyalty base.
Okay. Okay, so they are indifferent, I guess. It would be the appropriate role on the table, which I think in this situation,
to their fate.
yeah, I think that is sort of we made it through, we've passed the test. If we just keep our heads down, we're okay.
Exactly. They've seen things that cannot be unseen.
Yeah,
Maybe that almost brings them closer to the fold. They feel like they've I don't know.
I think they're more Reek-like from Game of Thrones, just so traumatized that they'll never rebel.
All right.
Perhaps. I don't know. How much time with them do you spend to judge their state?
Little to none, I think.
Yeah,
I think
so let's not worry about it
they
then.
just get back to their jobs and don't cause trouble. They've seen what happens when you transgress.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody quite understands the rules, but they're pretty sure there are some.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. Life under a chaotic evil dictator.
It's tough.
It's hard life. It's hard death, too. Did we have a rising priest of the winter gods? Was there someone in town? I feel like there was a... Let me see if I have anything on... Cultist. I have 10 cultists.
Yes.
I don't know if there's a lead cultist. Okay, but there is a rising cult of the winter gods.
Is it of the winter gods, or is it of Malcifer, the Lord of Winter?
Maybe the sect praises Lord Winter himself.
Mm-hmm.
And Malcifer as the current incarnation,
right,
of our Lord and Savior, the Void. All right.
Well, a few days pass.
Indeed. And I think if Malcifer gets to full... But we can keep healing, right? I could hold an essence and then heal another day.
The essence holds HP in the same way that your spirit armor does.
Okay, so once I'm full, that's... But then I can eat the essence. Oh, but then my HP is permanently at 18 until I use up that essence.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think if Malcifer gets to full, we'll probably take on the form of a bat and spy on Pine Spur. I guess we could send out specters and shades instead.
Mm-hmm.
Spies in the night.
Mm-hmm.
But I might as well go myself. So if we get to full, and nothing happens and no news arrives,
4 days
Malcifer
pass.
will fly out himself.
There's no news. There's nothing happening. There's probably nobody even left to rebel. I bet the whole island is yours and everyone has just given up and gone home.
Well, not quite. If that were the case, why? I mean, maybe, right? So they sent those diplomats or whatever to negotiate. Mm-hmm. And they refused to surrender, but then we struck them on their way back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe they brought news back to their Eridonian overlords and they've decided to withdraw. But there were at least 3 companies of Pine Spur's finest still rallied there.
At least.
Yeah. So in the evening of this 4th day, Malcifer will suit up, actually. We should have our full-on plate mail or breastplate by now, right?
Yep, it is completed and it fits you no longer uncomfortably.
Instead of an uncomfortable breastplate, or I've just got a breastplate, and I think I have a 16 bone daggers marked on my character sheet. So I think those are all carved and etched into this like rib cage or something that sits on top of the breastplate, with all sorts of little detachable bone blades carved into it.
Mm-hmm.
How sinister. So edgy.
And what are you gonna do?
With draw our jar of pickled bat hearts and swallow one to hold a bat essence. That will drop my HP to 18.
Okay.
And then Malcifer will shift his form into that of a bat and fly to Pine Spur.
In the night?
I think as evening we'll leave, so we'll arrive in Pine Spur under cover of darkness.
Okay. All right, we can get some bat sounds. And we can shift to the nighttime soundtrack.
None of my undead can fly yet, can they?
No.
I like that. Are ghosts able to fly? Is that the...
Not like... No, I think ghosts still hover, like, walking distance. I haven't sorted out the higher level undead.
Okay.
Yeah, they're still a coming.
Are these ghosts, do they drain... I guess this is getting way ahead of ourselves, but do they drain levels like D&D ghosts typically do?
They drain years of life, like Frofro ghosts do.
Oh, We'll get that next level.
Mm-hmm. So, you head to Pine Spur as a bat.
Yes, indeed.
All right. It'll take you a while to travel the 18 miles. Bats probably have a similar movement rate to people, maybe a little bit faster. So you'll be there in, let's say they go like 5 miles an hour or whatever, you'll be there in 3 or 4 hours. Pine Spur is not hard to find. You just head roughly towards the mountains until you see the lake, and it's right next to the lake.
Mm-hmm. An unwalled village, correct? City. Town.
Yes.
Do I see army camps? Are there companies of men still encamped around Pine Spur? Last we saw, they were fortifying the city, putting up palisade walls, probably chopping down trees and sharpening them to points and building defenses around the city.
This is correct. You can spot 3 banners. There has been progress. I'm not sure how much time has been since we've last seen Pine Spur, but
why don't you just describe it now?
Yeah, we've got palisade walls covering the southwest of the Pine Spur area. The north side next to the lake is still unwalled. The east side is still pretty unwalled, but that southwest corner has a nice big wall across it, including what looks to be like another set of just barricades out in front of the walls from all the like smaller branches that were too small to be useful in a proper palisade. So
you would call this a wall?
It is coming along, yes.
So the people of Pine Spur have breached the treaty with Eridon and
absolutely,
eyes, right? And like, which I think pleases him on some level. He still needs to retake the city, but they're making the right move, fortifying it, right?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And when it is returned to the domain of winter, it's been a long time coming. They put a wall around Pine Spur.
Mm-hmm. They've finally become more afraid of something.
Was it once a fortified city?
It once had beautiful stone walls, pulled from ice cap, but no longer.
All right, then. Then, under cover of darkness, this bat will fly over the company's banners into Pine Spur itself and flit and fly amongst the streets and alleys.
All right. You fly into the streets in the middle of the night.
Set the scene in Pine Spur. Is it humming and drumming? Is it a busy little town? Is life going on as normal?
There are scattered lights on throughout the whole of the city, of the whole of the town. The 3 major camps where the armies are stationed have the most bonfires and lights up and around, and there are people moving about even during the night. The regular town itself, just the civilian area, is fairly quiet. There are regular patrols in groups of 3 moving throughout the town.
Of guards.
Of guards, yeah. Occasionally a citizen will like pop out of a house and run down the street to some other place. As you're
They're
flying
mostly locked in tight.
Yeah, looks like they're staying in at night. You'll even spot a citizen leaving their house and getting stopped by a group of guards, some questions going on, and the person being let go.
So Mousifer will, Bat Mousifer will avoid these contingents of guards then. So seeing their torchlight moving about the city from afar, he'll sort of, fly into an alley and wait for the patrol to pass and spy on the city from above. Maybe I should roll some sort of, or they should roll a perception check, or like oppose perception checks to avoid a
even if they
sighting.
see a bat, they're not going to know what it is or care, right?
All right.
You're just
let's
a bat.
Let's see how long that lasts.
One day they'll figure it out.
Right.
Where do you go?
So we've scouted the city by shade, I believe, or by specter. And we found Freddy's jail cell. I think it was inside like a manor house or something, or like a keep. What's
There's
in the
a
center
dungeon.
of town?
Yeah. The center of town is Market Square.
Okay, there's a keep somewhere with a
There's
dungeon.
a keep somewhere with a dungeon.
And in this dungeon, somewhere is Freddy's cell. So the bat will slip into the keep somehow. We'll look for an open window, or maybe
Give
through
me
a
a
door.
perception check.
27.
Yeah, you can easily refine the building and find an open window, because it's a warm night here, right next to the lake. The lake produces all this, it's heated from below, and so it's always like 70 degrees on the surface, and then there's all these pipes that run through town. So the whole town is heated, and in this night, it's still fairly warm, so doors and windows are left open by active guard areas. And you can, flutter by, see some guards chatting, and one of them eventually
There's no window
leaves.
to Freddy's cell, is there?
No.
Okay.
No.
So I think we perch above either a side door or a front door, under the awning, like maybe on the second floor, and wait for something like a guard to go in or something.
Eventually, the door opens as a guard exits, and
And
you
a-
can.
And a bat flies in. Does this guard member see a bat fly into the house while they let the door swing behind them? Or do they have to lock the door?
No, they're just gonna shut it behind them. The guard does, not the guard leaving, but a guard on the inside still sees the bat come in, and he goes to get a broom and starts like trying to hit at the bat to knock it out, saying
I
things
think
like,
we,
"Get
like,
out of
dis-
here! Get, stupid
yeah.
bat! What are you doing in here? Get out of here!"
And the bat will disappear amongst the rafters if possible, and
Okay.
crawl away and out somewhere else.
Sure, like you get up into the rafters and the guy doesn't stop. Like he's got his broom and he wants to get the bat out of the building. You know, it's a good idea. So, what do you do?
I think we're gonna try to lose him, so we'll just like dive bomb out of the rafter. Like we probably disappeared behind sight, like up into some corner, or like if there's literally a rafter like behind the beam or like in the crook of the beam, and he's like probably trying to see it and swatting around with the broom, and we'll just surprise attack, dive bomb, but like rush past him and go for the dungeon beneath.
Oh,
Trying to surprise him and just like escape the room before. So he maybe gets an opportunity attack as we do a flyby, but I'm like at 18 HP bat. So like,
all right, I'll give him an attack with the broom against the bat.
He's a guard. Is he proficient with a broom? It sounds like an improvised weapon with penalties to me.
Perhaps a natural 5 is not going to do it. He swings at the bat, misses.
maybe roll like a surprise check, or can I roll something to try to hide or like avoid him, right? So like he loses sight of this bat that flies past. Right, you know what it's like trying to like swat a fly. I've never tried to swat a bat with a broom, but I've tried to catch a mouse with a wakizashi. So.
Well, he keeps a pretty close eye on you. Surprisingly, he's batting at you as you dive past him, and he whirls around and sees where you are.
I think nonetheless we fly down to the dungeon, and he maybe runs after.
The door to the dungeon is closed.
Is there a window on the door, or
No, it's just a wooden door. You would have to be in human form to open it.
Okay. Does this guard have a key ring around him?
It's just on the wall next to the door.
Okay. There's only one guard in this room? This is like the entry hall of the keep or something?
This is the dungeons of Pine Spur. It's kind of separate from everything else. Yeah, it's a separate building. So you've got this is the antechamber, kind of the atrium sort of reception hall section. And there's one guard here right now. The other one had left. Last time you were here, I don't remember what happened in this room, but there was another guard posted down below in the dungeons. Yeah. So there's at least one guard here, and maybe one down below, and the guy that just left. Maybe there's two posted here, and one's on a piss break, or who knows.
Okay. I am at full HP, so there's no need for this guy's HP, so I think I just want to take him down. Withering Touch takes years, which I might get back if I sacrifice him. Yeah, I think we're just gonna go full hog. So we're going back into necromancer form. I think appearing behind this guy or in front of him, and let's use a withering touch to disable this guy. Disable the guard. It's gonna cost years. So 4 years would do 2d6. Let's do 4 years.
Okay.
I don't know if you want to roll surprise or something like that.
Yeah. 3. That is a surprise on a d10.
And it seems like a surprising thing for this bat that you're swatting out with the broom to turn out to be a necromancer. Clad in bone armor. With an executioner's axe tied to his back. Reaching out and grasping for you. So I'm making attack rolls with an extra +2?
Yes.
Or do I get surprise?
No, surprise is... Yeah, you can get surprise and back attack. Maybe you fly over his head.
He gives a swing and misses, and the bat whirls behind him, turns into Malcifer Winters, who critically fumbles. So I think the guy whirls around to face the lunging necromancer. And
the shift from bat form to human form is not as smooth as you were hoping it would be, and grabbing at the Bardish while you're still transforming, it's sort of a mess.
I didn't actually need the Bardish. I was going for a Withering Touch, which is just back.
Yeah. Then we roll initiative. Yeah. The guard goes at a whopping 12 as he stands there slack-jawed, sort of staring at you.
He might get an opportunity attack with the broom, but I don't know how much damage the broom does, or if it's even if...
Yeah, well, he will take the opportunity attack as you reach out.
I think -2 being an improvised weapon, and it probably does like D4 -1 damage or something.
He rolls an 11.
That doesn't even hit my arm.
It just harmlessly hits your breastplate.
Oh my god, 2 1s in a row. I just can't get hands on this guy.
No.
If I missed him, I haven't expended the Withering Touch, or did I already give up the souls for that?
Ooh,
how does that work?
Question.
Siphoning. It seems like you need to make contact before you even use the ability, right?
Withering Touch by siphoning. Okay. I think I talk about it again later. No, do we not? I thought we talked about it in the Tooth and Claw section. No.
Ooh, spoilers.
So I don't think you need to. Yeah, I think you can cast it once you've touched them. That's
Okay.
how it goes. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So you miss twice.
Yeah.
In an attempt to
And
grab
is
this
he
guy.
Screaming for help or running for his life? What's
These
his
screams
reaction?
begin, the broom drops, and a short sword comes out from his side as he tries to plunge it through your gut. With a, that was almost a 20, and then it rolled to a 7. And the short sword comes, its point hits you right in the breastplate and comes to a dead stop. You can feel him trying to shove you backwards through it, and then eventually the blade slips to the side, sending a little small shower of sparks to the floor.
How many
you
spiritual
can
weapons
hear-
can you activate in a round? Is it like a separate ritual? Or you use it the same way you would a touch attack, like you give up the souls to make the attacking of the.
I think you do one weapon per round, right? Casting the spell is quick and easy, just a pick of blood. Allowing the spell to be cast in the same round the attack is going to be made.
What if you have multiple attacks? What if I dual wield daggers, or if I throw bone daggers?
I feel like you could cast multiple spiritual weapons in the same round. Yeah.
Okay. All right. If I back away, does he stays in melee? Like, so if I try to back up 10 feet and throw daggers at him, he like stays engaged. So
He can either stay with you or he can use it, take an opportunity attack if he doesn't want to chase after you.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I can't throw 3 daggers around from melee. Is that I'm like forced
Correct.
and engaged, and I'm
Yeah,
just
I
gonna
think
make it.
I think throwing missiles in melee
We need to roll
probably
initiative
provokes.
again, don't we?
Yeah, probably provokes opportunity attacks.
Okay.
Let me get a guardsman. And you're gonna roll with short sword speed.
Ooh, he's quick.
Yeah, he is. The guard has the short sword. He's wearing chainmail, and he stabs at you again, Lord Winter, with a 16 to hit.
I think that does actually clear breast. Yeah, my AC is only 15.
He stabs you. You'll take 2 points of damage that are
Ticking off
probably
a charge of spiritual armor. Dropping us down to 6. Oh, wait. Yeah. Where is that one? There we go. All right. And let's stab him with a dagger. With a spiritual weapon, so this will drain a year of life. I get +2 to hit. 18 points of damage.
He's got chainmail and a shield. Like I said, I forgot to say the shield, but either way, it's a hit.
He did not strap a shield on.
I don't know. He didn't have a. Yeah.
He's probably got a shield, but he was dual wielding a broom, and it takes a round to put on a
Right.
shield.
Okay, so no
He has an
shield.
AC 15.
AC
right?
15 from the chain. Yep, it goes right
So he
through it.
Yeah, and he takes 3 points of damage, 2 of which are necrotic.
Oh. The guard stumbles backwards into the wall and begins to slump down.
That was enough to bring him down?
Yep.
Okay.
These are regular guards. They have like D8 HP.
And then in the next round, Mousefor will sacrifice this guy, or eat this guy's soul.
Okay.
So I think using the
it's
bone
the
dagger...
end of that round that a knocking comes from the other side of the dungeon door, and a feminine voice says, John? John, what's going on over there?
Her call goes unanswered as John's soul is eaten, maybe before her eyes, as she opens the door from the other side.
She does. She opens the eyes to Mousefor hunched over Jonathan, eating his soul. She'll let out a shriek, and she wields a spear to help like stab through the gates of things. No shield.
Is this happening? So she's entering the room on the same round as we're soul eating?
Yes.
Okay. So I should roll at initiative 3 to eat a soul?
Yes. And she rolls initiative +6 for her spear.
Okay. So Mal, I think she opens the door to see the necromancer hunched over the guardsman.
Mm-hmm.
His soul, I don't know, do you see a soul being wrenched from its body and gobbled up, or is that all on some other plane of existence that she can't perceive?
There is probably some sort of visual with it. Maybe it's just like a ghostly wind kind of blowing into your mouth. She may not realize what she's even seeing. It's...
How many years did this guardsman have left in him?
Ooh, not many. He only had 25 years. Poor bastard. All those cigarettes he was smoking had given him cancer. He hadn't a long time left to live. But the guards woman will stab at you while shouting, "Help! It's him! It's him!" And a 4 comes. It's a downward stab, hits the back of your armor and slides down it.
Closes. If she's opened the door to the dungeon and left it ajar, I think Malcifer is, I guess next round Malcifer will probably disengage and head into the dungeon.
She's in the doorway, right? She came up through it and is maybe standing in or just on the back side of the door.
How did she stab me? I don't think she can, Malcifer was in the room. They stepped into the room to engage in melee, or she stayed... I guess just like combat penalties for like trying to poke from afar while standing in a doorway. I didn't think I was
in my head. The guy was landing pretty close to the wall. I guess we didn't have it described. We don't have a map of the room, but I think he wasn't too far from the doorway down. Does that make sense?
No, it doesn't match up with what I saw, but whatever. We can.
Okay.
Go with
well,
that.
then she's just standing near the doorway. How about that?
We're just all piled on top of each other.
It's a mess.
Yeah.
All right. She rolls a 10, and will. No, she hasn't. She hasn't rolled yet. She rolls a 14. Malcifer will go first.
Okay. So she's blocking the doorway. And she's standing Malcifer and okay.
Yeah, so if she's like 5 feet in front of the doorway, you wouldn't be able to get behind to the doorway because she would be, blocking it.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
All right. In any case, we're gonna hold essence this round. So I'm gonna eat it. Pull a jar of pickled bat hearts out, and eat one in front of this guardswoman, dealing or. What do you call it? Earmarking 3 points of HP.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I could feed on her, couldn't I? But I need to subdue her first.
Mm-hmm.
That's tough to do in battle. We found out on the ship that it's not very practical to try and eat people while they're alive.
Yeah.
While they're conscious.
Yeah. So what are you going to do here?
So we're holding the essence.
All right, you eat the bat heart
in front of her. I would like to step out of... I don't know. We're theater of the mind. It sounds like I'm stuck, engaged in... It seems silly that I'm standing right in front of her instead of stepping back a foot out of her reach, right? It seems like if she wants to hold the door, Malcifer can just take a step back, and she either has to stay in the doorway or pursue and engage.
Right. So if you step back, either she makes her attack of opportunity... from the doorway, or she follows after you.
Okay, so I guess it's just a weird mechanical consequence that Malcifer is eating this bat heart in her face.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Well, D&D's filled with weird mechanical things, right? Okay, so on her turn, the next round, she
Same
is
round.
going.
She just get
Okay, right. She'll hold her position and sort of defend herself while shouting.
Range is why. That's why I was confused. I think she's just. think this is all happening in spear range.
Yeah, but her spear is not actually striking at you. She's holding her ground and defending herself. We could call it parrying if you'd like, while shouting for help. And why don't you give me a perception check to see if you can hear any help coming?
No. She's shouting. I'm sure help. I mean, I'm sure she's making quite a commotion.
She's making as much noise as she can, and we'll roll into the next round. She's going to continue to hold the doorway.
Yeah. So I guess this all takes place in like super slow motion. Because I'm just withdrawing this round, but I guess I want to withdraw and throw daggers, but I guess I'll roll. Okay, so at 8.
Okay, you go first.
Yeah.
You back out of the room.
I spend a round taking a 5-foot step. Right, just to get out of her melee range.
Right, but it's not quite that, because I think in the melee, in a full minute of combat, it's not just you take a step back, right? She's like making stabs at you and feinting blows and whatnot.
Let's just breeze over it and make her. She can take her action, and we can forget about how many minutes pass.
Sure. Once she sees you backing up, she will press the attack, lunging forward and trying to stab at your feet.
Then I will dodge her. Then I'll withdraw down the hall. Like I feel like I can. In that case, I can lure her back. Like she's pursuing. Well, I'm withdrawing.
So you're withdrawing. She's pursuing. You can go.
Can I circle around her and go down? Well, the next round I'll do that.
Okay, so you want to like pursue around the room?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like
so
Looper?
She steps forward and makes an attack, but now the dungeon door is exposed.
Right.
So, what does she hit?
She rolls a 16,
which does clear AC.
Okay.
Ultra spear damage
as 1+1 for 2.
Okay.
Another charge gone.
There's a flash of spiritual energy as her. Yeah. Her measly weapons do not harm the necromancer before her. And I guess let's roll initiative and do another round. Are there others joining the battle at this point, or no?
Yes, on this round there will be.
Actually, can I have stabbed her at the end of the round? Like, it seems weird that I lose all of my actions to try and go from stabbing with the dagger to throwing with the dagger. I guess it was withdrawal, but he just okay, whatever.
So you had spent this round withdrawing so you could throw, and then she chased after you, which sort of negates all of your actions that round, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. This is why I'm working on a reactive combat system, which makes more sense.
I guess, or we could just do this on gridded combat.
Yeah, if I had a map.
Just the ways you were using the threatening spear of the guard made it feel kind of gritty in my mind. But we can just take. I roll a 9.
Okay. Do we? Yes. These are really what I'm looking for. All right, I'll find a map for us another day.
It's
when
too
it doesn't
late.
matter.
The battle's halfway over. We'll just do this this inconvenient initiative system.
Okay. So she is going at 6, and these other guards are going to be showing up on this round as well. So the first one is one of the new guards coming from outside. This is the guy that had just walked out of the room a few minutes ago. He throws open the door. Well, actually, the door is probably still open. He pops in the room, sees you and her, and she's shouting, "It's him! It's him!" And he will probably lunge for you as well. Frontal attack, natural 18.
Okay, what the fuck is happening right now? We need to get...
Back attack, front attack, what do you want?
I don't know. I guess I just said don't do a battle map, but it seems...
But now we need a battle map? Okay, here, I'm going to draw us a battle map. We're going to do it quick and dirty like.
I don't know. I feel like whatever. Okay, make a back attack. I'll eat a spirit armor charge.
I said front attack, but...
Okay. All right, 18.
It's a natural 18 anyway, so
yeah.
It doesn't matter what angle he was attacking from. Here, let's look over here.
And I'd like to add my poltergeist into combat this round.
Sure.
I guess I should have done that earlier, but if we're just, yeah. Actually goes first, but I think because the guards jumped in, it didn't know they were there, or I didn't know they were there.
Right. Okay, so this is going to lead down a staircase to the jail cells. So this right here that I've just drawn an arrow to is the front door.
Mm-hmm.
And then these are like jail cells down here. This is definitely not to scale, and it's very ugly.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this room is probably about 10 feet. Oh yeah, 10 by 15. It's just about what I was going for. Perfect. And there should be like a desky thingy over here. That didn't work. Desky thingy there. And a table over here. Okay. So if we bring our tokens over, she is here-ish.
I think there's a body there as well. And
Yeah.
I'm there as well. Well, I mean, now I took a 5-foot step back, so we're here. And there's a body on the ground, and she taken a step, and then someone came in through the front door that I
Through the front door,
came in
yeah.
earlier.
So it's probably something like this, where this guy's just coming in through the front door.
Okay.
Okay.
And hits, I think, have you rolled damage yet?
No, I have not rolled damage yet.
And you said I can see at least one other guard over his shoulder.
Yes, there's another guard coming through. The damage from this attack is 4 plus 4 is 8 damage. That actually deals a point to you.
1. Yeah, you're right. 4.
My God.
And
that's her
I would
turn.
I think my poltergeist goes first. I would like it to draw the sword of the guard behind it or something like that.
This guard or the one?
And if there's someone like behind, there's a guard in the street or something. So the poltergeist steps out of the bardish that it like lives in or whatever that it haunts, and just appears behind this guy. And if his sword's not drawn, it'll just like draw it and let it drop to the street. Or if he's got a spear, maybe it like snatches the spear from his hand. I don't know what he's armed with.
He's got a spear in his hand and a short sword at his side.
Okay, so then I guess we'll just sort of make an attack roll against the sword or something like that.
I like to see. No one sees the poltergeist coming. You're effectively totally hidden. So plus 4 to hit, and you just got to grab the sword out of his sheath.
Yeah. So AC 10.
AC 10. Woo!
Barely. Right. So -1 for having 5 strength, and then +4 for the surprise nature of the attack. So his short sword draws itself and clatters to the ground.
And to which
I got DM hacks of my own.
he is
PC
surprised by the short sword drawing itself and clattering to the ground, because no sword just like levitates out and drops. He will change his action to defending against the unseen. And it's the woman's turn. I can't see which direction you're facing. Looks like you're facing down.
I think at this point, I'm facing down and back to the wall.
She'll stab at you with a 2 to hit.
I go before. Oh, is she the 8?
She's the 8.
Guard?
Yeah. And then it's Mal's first turn.
I guess I make an attack roll against her. I think we just have to kill everyone now. 18 is a hit. This is a spiritual weapon dagger, so that's a sacrifice of a year, and it does the 2d4 damage. 5. 2d4, one of which is necrotic. Only 4 points of damage.
She survives.
And tick into the next round. The guard outside can maybe like roll a perception check to spot the poltergeist and then like try to snatch it.
That is going to be a failure to spot, I'm pretty sure. What's the poltergeist? shift 75% ethereal.
Okay, so it can just shift in and out of ethereal at will, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Right, but when they're shifted into
But
the
it's not
ethereal,
like once around, do you think? Like, so it shifted material to draw the short sword, and then
right?
Can it only do like once around, shift back and forth? Or
That makes sense.
Does that,
Yeah,
does that seem fair?
that seems fair.
But otherwise, you just shift material for a second and then immediately shift ethereal again to avoid any repercussions, or
Right, but when you are ethereally shifted, you cannot see living objects. So
Okay.
you see through them. So you would need to be physically shifted into the prime material plane in order to interact or to see things to interact with them.
yeah, but
Okay.
but it's usually within 60 feet of me,
Right.
or the sword, 120 yards. Okay.
Okay. So next round, yeah.
Yeah.
No, yeah, because the guard outside sees nothing. And now we roll
What?
initiative.
I dropped my sword. And then I guess I'll roll just a D10 for. I don't know if I second round for myself for my poltergeist. Oh, but I can't have a second token. So either way, both Mousefers go first.
We've got yourself a poltergeist right here.
Okay. It should have initiative 10, but this round doesn't matter. We're both going first. So Mousifer prepares another spiritual dagger. Actually, I guess it's the same one.
Okay.
So I
you go
guess
first.
he's got it like using his offhand to like draw blood, just a little pinpricks, enough to imbue this blade with his spiritual essence. So it's another. Well, it's another year and an attack roll. No, critical miss.
Oh my god.
I think I lose the year and no successful attack happens. The shade outside. Is there anything it can really do? I think Engadian Mousefur will tell it to, come here, and it will go ethereal, right? So it'll go back ethereal and come like inside the room and may turn to material again next round. But right, and so the guards retaliate. They've got this mysterious necromancer up against a wall, and at least two of them maybe can gather around and
Rid of these nameplates.
try to drive a stake through my heart.
There we go. Now we can see a little bit better. Okay. The next guard is the woman who's standing before you, and she stabs at you again with a 12 to hit. No good. The next is the guard in the doorway who shuffles in. You could probably make a frontal attack on both of them by facing the right angle. So it's a frontal attack with a 9 to hit. The guard outside keeps looking for the poltergeist, saying, "Something's here! It's out here!" And then followed by, "Over here! Over here!" And frantic waving.
Outside, this is off in the distance, or?
No, this is just a guy that's on the other side of the wall from you. He's like,
Yeah, but he's mistaken, right? He probably saw the poltergeist shifting ethereal and moving through him.
Yeah. And the Mousefur and Poltergeist have already gone, actually.
Yeah, so we're doing initiative.
Initiative. Perfect. Oops, ascending. Mousefur Winter goes first.
Ooh, a 6 is not enough for the spiritual weapon, and I think with spiritual weapons, every time you make an attack, you lose a year, and if it's only 1 year, it's got to be used within that round, right?
I believe so.
And the only advantage to using more years is to make it last longer.
To do more damage, right?
Oh, that's for Withering Touch. This is spiritual weapon.
The effect lasts 1 round per year drained. Right, so you could, you can just keep giving it 1 round each. You can enchant the weapon once each round, or you can enchant it like 10 times for 10 rounds and then not worry about it.
Okay.
If you wanted to hand it over to someone else,
I see. Yeah. Okay. But the poltergeist will go before the guards. It's just it'll go physical, and I think just make a shove attack against this guard.
Okay.
And I'm guessing that if I hit, maybe she'll have a penalty to hit or something like that.
Ooh, she rolls a 4 plus something on her strength check.
Okay, but I still need to hit her to shove it, or if it's back attack and blind, it's just like right into the strength check?
I feel we should go straight into the strength check for back attack and blind.
Okay. So 14 is better than her failure, right?
She rolls a 4 plus 10 is a 14, and you roll a 5 plus 9 is a 14, so...
Okay, so probably no effect, but she does other than she's shoved from the back by this poltergeist.
Yeah, it's just disconcerting and weird and creepy.
Yeah, I mean, she'll probably stay focused on Malcifer, but I could see it being totally reasonable for her, like in different circumstances, something like this luring someone into attacking the poltergeist instead.
Mm-hmm.
Right, like imagine if your PCs are fighting a necromancer boss or whatever, and like, oh, a ghost appears behind you and makes a shove attack against you. You resist it, but it's there.
Right. I think that's pretty
There's probably a good 50-50 chance they go after the necromancer or turn around to deal with the minion.
This guard starts talking to someone on the outside. You can hear him saying, "He's in there, Father, he's in there."
Oh, a priest, eh?
Mm-hmm.
See if he's a cleric. See if I can be turned.
Well, if he's called Father, he's a cleric, right?
I don't know. These Eridonian customs never quite made sense to me. Let's do initiative again, I think. Both of these guards have attacked me, and it sounds like a...
well, no, we just started this round. The other two guards haven't attacked yet.
Oh, you're right. That was my turn, and then so 2 guys are within stabby range.
Yes. This cleric will be joining the fray at the end of the round. In the meantime, the other 2 guards will make stabs at Malcifer. First one with a 2 to hit, second one with a 15 to hit.
15 will take a charge.
You will take 4 and 2 for 6, which is reduced to 0.
Yeah.
Your life is getting lower.
Oops.
Or your charges are getting lower, at least. And at the end of the round, the cleric arrives, and you can hear him saying to the guard, "What is it, good man?" And the guard says, It's the necromancer! He's inside!" And we will roll the cleric into initiative. Right. Let me just get his list of spells right here.
Yeah.
Let's see. That's not what we want to do. We want to do... Okay. He is going to start chanting something on his round.
Does throwing missile weapons in melee provoke OAs?
I think so. I think that's the only thing that makes sense, though. You know?
Yeah.
Okay. The cleric is going to...
Even thrown weapons, such as like throwing a axe in melee?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think that inevitably opens you up to something.
Mm-hmm.
This guard is going to actually step out of the initiative order and just let the other dude go. This one is going to go at 6 or +6 to initiative. This one goes at +6 to initiative. All right, you ready? Malcifer goes at 3. Holy crap, buddy.
Yeah, it's... Okay. Yeah, so my knives are quick. Is Malcifer going first? Malcifer's going first. I think we're finishing off the spear woman here. So let's start with that stabby. Finally a crit. And I think this is just nasty. I think she's already taken 1 stab, right? Does this crit the necrotic damage as well, or just the physical?
I think it does. It just increases the damage dice, so they all go up. Oh.
Does that count? Can I eat her soul as it comes out?
You bring her to -11, so she dies before you can do anything about it. Yeah.
And then I would like my poltergeist to like trade places with me and see if we can trick this this guard that's threatening me.
Ooh.
So like the poltergeist is gonna like move within threatening range, like even like clipping through Malcifer as it becomes material. I guess it was already material. Mm-hmm. So like flicker ethereal through Malcifer and like come out of him. And we're gonna try to like do a switcheroo and like
Give me an opposed charisma versus his wisdom or something with a penalty because he's unfamiliar with this.
Okay. D20 plus 13. Ooh, not good. Unless I get advantage or something like that.
Well, he has a penalty to his charisma. He rolls a 4 on the die.
Oh.
And his wisdom, is 3 plus 3 is 6 plus 3 is 9. So 9 and 3 is 12.
Okay.
So
I think it works.
Yeah, it does work.
So
he'll make
he loses track of which Malcifer is which.
Yeah.
And I'll throw more daggers at the end of the round. The cleric, I think, knows if he's got a line of sight into the room. I'm sure he's wise enough to know which necromancer is which, and maybe he gets a glimpse. But I don't know. So we'll see what happens on guard initiative.
Okay. I'm trying to figure out. I don't think I've noted if these shade-like things need magic weapons to be. I think they take half damage.
If they're material, I think they get. There's a mention of it.
Is there?
If they're material, they can take damage. If their total material form is destroyed, they're like freewheeling 2 HP shades. Yeah, you've got some stuff.
Okay,
so
perfect.
Now it is material. It has 16 HP, and it can be
14 AC.
Right?
Okay.
I think that in the whirl of blood and straight spiritual energy, I think this guard is totally confused. He probably thinks that is
absolutely going after it.
Part of the necromancer. He thinks it's vulnerable. I mean, it is, right? It's 16 HP.
He takes a stab with a 17 to hit. He'll hit your poltergeist. Actually,
I think they have AC 14,
and he will do 6 damage to it.
So this poltergeist was summoned with let's see, I think it was like 16 HP.
Okay, so he's at 10 out of 16.
And I think if there was something like if it's killed, it's like its material form is killed, maybe it's just forced back to the ethereal plane until it recomposes. The only way to kill it is to kill the 2 HP of
after taking enough damage to be enough physical damage to be destroyed, the poltergeist loses its ability to materialize and becomes unchained from the caster. They are now free roaming undead who can interact with the material world as if they had 2 strength.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I would lose control of it. Although I could probably re-control it. That's kind of cool. I like these interactions. All right.
And next up is the cleric, who begins a holy chant of sorts. And you can see that the guards, they have like these little symbols of a stair emblazoned upon their surcoats, which begin to like give off a faint amount of light. So does the cleric.
They have holy warriors guarding their dungeon.
They've got something going on. There is some sort of clerical magic happening here.
Yeah.
Okay. Initiative next round.
Yeah.
Both of these guys
gets to throw spiritual weapons at the end of it. He gets right. I think it's fair to switch to throwing daggers.
Sure.
At the end of the round, right? Like I make a melee attack, kill the guy. Poltergeist flips into threatening reach, and then.
I'm okay with that.
I'll maybe just one instead of the usual. Well, I guess they're just daggers, so it's
they're just daggers. Same attack, right? Yeah.
If I can throw it at the cleric, that would be ideal.
No, he's got 2 people in front of him and a doorway. There's no way.
Yeah, then I think we'll just throw it at the guard and miss.
No, you miss.
With a year of spiritual force with it.
Okay. It has been many rounds now.
Yeah, it's probably been, 10 minutes of commotion at the dungeon, maybe even more.
Something along those lines. Roll me some initiative for yourself.
Yeah, I think even if we do, at this point, I don't think we're going to sensibly bust Freddy out of here. Is there a window to this room?
There are, yes. I will do the windows in blue so they can be more easily seen. There's the window.
Okay.
The only window. Malcifer goes first again. Surprise, surprise.
I guess a quick glance over my shoulder. What does that reveal down this open door, down this hallway?
That is a staircase that leads down, and that's pretty much all you can see.
So the last time I was here, how many were there held in the dungeon? Was it just Freddy, or were there other cells?
There were other cells, but Freddy had his own cell.
Mm-hmm. He's not getting out at this, well...
I mean, he'd have to escape on foot, right?
Is there more commotion behind the cleric? I guess I look out the window. Malcifer steps forward, looks out the window.
Yeah, you can see other guards are forming up.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like the town is on high alert now, and torch lights are kind of flickering in the distance, but they seem to be drawing in your direction.
Mm-hmm. Malcifer is going to turn back into he's going to break the window, turn back into a bat, and fly away.
What do you break the window with?
An elbow, a bone dagger, the butt of a bardish.
Sure. If you have a heavy metal tool, that's not a problem. But if you're gonna use like an elbow or something, I might want like an easy strength check. Like a DC 16 strength check or something. If you're just gonna use a hand or an elbow. They don't have
that
nice,
seems stupid
glass
to do when I've got so many weapons.
Right, so if you have a bardish in hand, then you can just break it and be fine.
Yeah,
that's fine then. You've already eaten your bat heart.
It's probably super awkward to carry a bardish otherwise, right? Can you just be strapped to a bat? Like, I guess like on a... Yeah,
I don't know if you can strap it to your back, because it's a pole arm, right?
It might even have been in my offhand this whole time, kind of thing.
It must have been. Yeah. All right, so you can break the window with your bardish, become a bat, and fly away.
Maybe a couple guards get shots. Maybe the cleric's perceptive enough to see this going down. And then the poltergeist goes next, and it turns ethereal and tries to follow after.
All right. And then the two of you disappear into the night.
Yes. And I think with that, we'll go into a break. Do you want to resolve quickly, like perception checks, to see if anyone spots specifically where this bat flees, or if anyone gets lucky with a rock or a...
I'll give a couple of bow shots to guards that are coming up.
The armor and my HP, there's probably the most they would do is ding off a...
Yeah. Let's say two guards show up and they'll each make 2 shots. The first one's at -2 penalty for darkness. The second shot's at -2 for darkness and 2 for range. So one at -2, 2 at -2, and 2 at -4. So 0, 5, 13, and -4 or -3. So no shots, no hits.
Okay. And so Bat Malcifer flutters into the night. And I think we'll go into our break and wrap this show up on the other side.
See you guys then. Bye-bye.